I clicked a button and it really.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers and geeks alike. I caught Nigel out. It's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. If you've not noticed, we've dropped £300 as Keith's not here. Yes, he has to get up really early in the morning, and he lives in a foreign country, and he didn't remember. I remember him talking to me about said thing, but he thought it was on Tuesday. So, oops. So it's just me and Nige this week. So it should be a nice, fair one. So we were trying to get Dave in on this podcast, but unfortunately for us, Dave's got a really crap internet service broadband provider. So, pro tip of the week: don't use TalkTalk. They're shit. They make Virgin Media look competent. That's a hard job to do. So,
I've done well there.
How we doing, Nige?
Yeah, all good. All good. Another week down.
Yeah, it's annoying because I'm not lit very well because there is no light outside, which is terrible. But yes, Dave has joined us in the chat in the comments.
He has.
Yes, I'm gonna have a chat with him after to see if we can resolve this. As I put my phone on silent.
Getting him on another time. Just as a forewarning. My youngest son has decided he wants to practice his trombone in his bedroom. So if you do happen to hear some sort of tromboning in the background, it's that. It's
tromboning in the background.
In tune.
Just a quick one. That's not a euphemism for anything, is it? Hello, Jason. You're supposed to be at work. Just thought I'd point that out before we start. Okay, so this week we will be talking about... rubbish. I've lost my screen. There it is. We'll be talking about Paul Feig, Ghostbusters nonsense, an update from Carol Baskin of the Tiger King fame, some notes on the Mandalorian, Batwoman, some notes on Sony and Sega, Naughty Dog being naughty, and Lego being silly, and then I've got a what the fuck story, which will make you giggle hilariously, and a what the fuck little video, which will make you wince with pain and terror. So, Digest Trumpets got it right. So, first story is Mr. Paul Feig of Ghostbusters fame. Remember that really shit film in 2016? Everyone was just railing against it because it was just a crap idea. And it was executed poorly. Well, Paul Feig is jumping on the bandwagon and insinuates that the failure of this was racism, not shit content. I hate to tell you that you're wrong, Paul. I watched the first 30 minutes of it and I couldn't bring myself to watch any more of it because I felt like it was sucking the life out of me. It was a horrendously poor comedy. Bad pacing. It felt like there was no script to the damn thing, and there probably wasn't a script to the damn thing. It was probably just a set of plot points they needed to cover. No one told them to stop. So as a director, you just let people carry on and manage to glue a film together. So yes, he's blaming racism. He previously blamed misogyny, Donald Trump, because everyone blames Donald Trump, and the internet, especially YouTubers. And people with opinions. So that falls down to people like Red Letter Media who rips it a new arsehole. You just admit that
blame the critics as well.
Well, no, the critics loved it. The critics absolutely loved it. They thought it was the best thing since sliced cheese. But what you don't realise in these situations is you've got to make a good film for it to be considered good. Passing out on a shitty agenda is just, it's...
Who'd have thought to be considered good, it's got to be made well?
Well, we do live in, how can I put it politely, clown world, where people are asking for silly things. So I don't know. He's the guy's, how can I put it politely?
Deluded.
A man-let is probably the best way of describing it. So if you just take this picture of him here, and I'm going to dunk on him because he said something stupid, yeah? Is that a
Who are you
face that
looking
could
at?
take on Arnold Schwarzenegger or
Oh,
Clint Eastwood or any? How about right? Let's do this. Is that a face that could beat Chris Nolan in a fight? No. He's a man. He's not with it. He's got it agendaed and shit all up his wazoo. It's
he could be part of Spaceballs, couldn't he?
yeah, he actually would probably fit well in a Mel Brooks comedy as one of the actors, but not as one of the directors. I do find it absolutely amazing that he's now blaming it on racism. I know he's blaming it on racism because of the current situation, and he's trying to use this to, I don't know, reignite his failed career. This guy's an idiot. That film was shit. Doesn't matter if
I watched it, and I'm not going to watch it.
No, I my recommendation for that film is don't touch it. Don't do anything with it because it is garbage. Just total garbage, and it should be avoided at all costs. It's weird because if you watch the first one, Nigel, bad Nigel.
That's what happens when there's only two of us.
Right. What happens? I don't know. When you got no scripts, the original Ghostbusters seemed to have a fairly tight script. It was done the right way. It was a horror film that just happened to be a comedy, not a comedy that happened to have horror elements in it or supernatural elements in it. And that's the first thing he forgot. And then he forgot the thing about it being about the spirit of entrepreneurship and things like that. He is a man-let, and the film was crap. Go away, Paul. I've just repeated myself. Right. So while we stopped, we've got some comments in. So if you want to bring up the comments while I prep the next bit.
Yes, I will. Quickly, starting from the top. Hello, David. Hello, Jason. Hello, Malcolm. Yes, right. Okay. So David loved the 80s Ghostbuster movies. Well, I think everyone did. But he didn't watch 2016 because movie reviews were quite bad, and yeah, he agrees. What I know, Trump is probably to blame for a few things or many things. However, this is not one of them. You can't pin it on him. Yeah, he looks like Woody Allen. And goodbye, Jace. I've just said hello and goodbye. He's off. His tea break's over. Thanks for stopping by, mate.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Hey, what? 5 minutes? Is that all, mate? Dave reckons I'll be better off watching the Han Solo movie.
Don't watch the Han Solo movie either, man.
If you compare the two, I probably would watch the Han Solo movie over that. Whatever.
I have a better film for you to watch at the end of this.
Okay.
You're not going to say okay after you've seen it.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to our next story. And I can only say the following: Carol fucking Baskin, the woman and her crazy husband. Or I can't find my mouse.
I'm going to have to plead ignorance because I've only seen one episode. I don't understand how or why it came about that she's won in a lawsuit.
It goes like this. She got in how can I put it, a legal dispute with Joe Exotic because he kept on saying that he ripped off her logo and bits because she was trying to shut his business down in places, which it made sense to shut her business down, but a bit hypocritical from her side where she keeps tigers in even smaller fucking cages. She shut his business down. So he then started copying her logo ever so slightly to try and make it look like hers. He was setting up Google so the traffic would try and come to him instead of her. And along the short of it, she sued him along with him saying that she murdered her husband and fed him to the large cats. I think he's dead. I think they buried him at the sea. Easier. They just chuck him out the ocean.
When she came out with the quip, you just cover him in whatever oil, fish oil or whatever.
Sardine oil. Yeah.
Sardine oil and feed it to the tigers. That would have done a better job. And then she probably went, ooh, the cat's out of the bag there.
Yes.
Ah,
It-
hey.
yes. So the cat's out of the bag on that one, but she successfully sued Joe Exotic for $1 million. But Joe, in his infinite wisdom, signed over his park to his mum. So his mum took on all the debts and everything to do with the park, and she became the owner of the park. And it looks like the court ruling says that she's going to take ownership of the park.
Is that to cover the $1 million?
I don't know if it's to cover the $1 million or this, that, and the other, because it's not too many specific things here in the notes. Apart from the land, she's been going to have access to several cabins, vehicles, not to mention all of the cats. So she's got control of that whole thing.
I don't think the cats are. Well, the cats haven't been mentioned. I think the cats have already been moved elsewhere, from what I could gather on different news articles I've seen. So this woman, who is no better than Joe Exotic, except for Joe Exotic is a bit better than her because he pays his staff and she doesn't.
Yes, I forgot that.
She just gives them fancy T-shirts to show what level of competence they have. It's like in McDonald's when you got 1 stripe or 2 stripe or 3 stripe.
It's funny because Joe. It's weird when in the if you watch Tiger King, in it they show that clearly that Joe Exotic knows his staff, and he kind of tries to command some respect from his staff. And she doesn't, and they show her, and she doesn't give a shit.
No, that's what I got from I only watched 1 episode, and I got that from that 1 episode. Whether or not that's just how it's been edited together is another.
Yeah,
we don't quite know, but it is. But you can only go by what they show you. So, them showing that she runs it on volunteers with a shirt system to say you're more competent, you get a blue shirt. You're shit, you get a black one, or whatever. Yeah. Then to show that the cages they're in are fucking tiny for a similar amount of, well, probably not. It's probably got about half the amount of cats as Joe Exotic because he breeds them. But then you show her not actually interacting with the cats, not actually doing anything with the cats, whereby Joe seems to take care of his cats a little bit better in that respect. You have to wonder, really, who's in the wrong. Joe is really, because he fucking tried to assassinate her. But that's another. That's another.
Yeah, that's another thing. But the long and short of it is Carol Baskin looks like she's taking control of the park away from Joe Exotic. He can't do anything because he's in fucking jail.
Yeah.
Universal are planning on making a film of this. And there's lots of people attached to play Joe Exotic and all the others.
Nicolas Cage was one, wasn't it?
For Joe Exotic, yeah.
For Joe, yeah.
I think that would work. I really think that would work.
That's crazy. So, but he's not really that. He doesn't do his crazy eyes, does he? He hasn't got crazy. Nicolas Cage has got some great crazy eyes when he does that, like face. And
yeah. Well, he just do it behind the shades. Oh, I think it would work with Nicolas Cage.
Do it behind the cage. Put some shades on, then do your crazy eyes. Yeah.
Even though Nicolas Cage lives in England outside some village somewhere up north. So that's going to be interesting to find. Okay, so we've got that. Then we've got the Mandalorian. How cute Baby Yoda was.
Quick one.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
He's asked, is this guy breeding tigers for other zoos, or is it part of tiger conservation plan? So
no, he's building them for. He's breeding them for petting.
Yeah,
and then quietly offing them.
Yeah, he sells them off. He did say in the first episode.
Oh, he says he sells them off, but one of the things that got him on was the fact that they found lots of dead tiger bones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
bad boy.
Yeah, a bad boy for life. Yeah, but the person who does conservation is supposedly Carol Baskin, who keeps her tigers.
Who started off exactly the same as Joe Exotic. Her and her husband, when they had the Easy Street Zoo or whatever it was they had, did exactly the same.
Yeah, to be honest, the whole thing's pathetic, but
It's absolutely fucking mad. That's the thing, to think there are more tigers in the States than there are in the wild.
Yeah, exactly. David reckons that the tiger bones are probably destined for the Chinese black market. You never know.
The tiger bones were found under something, so I don't think he was intending on selling them.
Oh, he probably buried them.
Yeah, just to cover up. And I think the other a guy called, what was his name? Doc something.
Oh,
Doc Antler or something like that.
I remember there's a doc who self-proclaimed doc.
Yeah,
He's a bit of a cult, and he only employs youngish, good-looking-ish women, and that's all he employs.
Yeah.
So yeah, David says tiger bones are used in traditional Chinese medicines. Are one of the reasons why tigers are so endangered.
I'll tell you the real reason that they're so endangered is the fact they haven't learned to operate AK-47s. They're dangerous as it is. Give them a gun, proper dangerous.
I'm looking forward to the Tigers March and peaceful protest.
Yes.
So, what were you saying about a Mandalorian?
Right, remember the Mandalorian? That's your turn to press the button. Remember the Mandalorian and cute Baby Yoda. How cute was Baby Yoda? Everyone was like, kind of, oh, he's so cute.
I think it's all the eyes.
It's like kind of, oh, he's so cute. Look how cute he is. Look at that. Hang on a second. I'll fucking zoom in. There you go. Look at that. Oh, he's so cute. But what we didn't realize is when they were coming up for designs for Baby Yoda, they came up with some fucking horrible bastards. Some bits which should give you nightmares for the rest of your life. So let's have a look at that. Look at that one.
Oh Jesus.
That's fucking terrifying. Look at that. That looks like it would murder you in your sleep. And that's just Yoda.
Yeah. Well, the bottom one is just
it's like kind of, look, that is fugly. That is terrifying. And that's Yoda.
I think they went a little bit too fat on the first one on the left.
It's fat and wrinkly.
Yeah.
So it makes it look old. So you've got a baby. Yeah. Yeah. They've got a baby. And then they've made it old. And then they've given it scary, like sharp razor teeth. And that one there, it looks he's up to something. I don't know what he's up to. He's up to something.
I'm not doing anything, sir. I'm not. I'll just put that back.
But then again, you have to go through quite a few of these design choices before you can get to the one that you want.
They don't draw the first one and go, cracked it, mate. Fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
They don't do that. Yeah. They had to come up with these things and sort of like going, no, cuter, make it cuter. And then they probably picked up a Furby and went, you see Furby's cute. Make it look a bit Furby-ish with nice big eyes and they went, oh yeah. Yeah. That's it. Furby-ish. It's not
just like point. I'd just like to point something out. Is the fact that Keith was supposed to leave a link to that article.
Did he not?
No, he didn't. I had to find it quickly. Keith, you let me down. I'm gonna have to stab you now. Don't know where I'm going to stab you.
I looked earlier, but I think it was in pocket. Yeah. So, yeah, David's right. They look like gremlins a little bit.
He also said about the tigers.
He did. So,
oh no! Hang on a second. I'm not joking. When it comes, have you right? This is something. Just to go back to kind of back to the previous one. So Dave's brought up the fact if you train apes with AK-47s, they might be able to defend the rainforest and the homes from habitat destruction. Oh wait, they did a few movies ago. They are terrifying. Recently, you had the monkeys that stole the coronavirus from an Indian lab. You heard about that?
No.
Okay, right. Right, so the Indians are working in a lab and they're transporting the coronavirus from one building to another. Anyway, a gang of apes attacked the researcher that was carrying the coronavirus and fucked off with it. they stole the coronavirus. Okay,
Well,
and then
they would. Well, it's probably in a case or something.
I'm hoping it's in a test tube at least.
But the thing is, monkeys are they're quite intuitive, and they'll try to break it. They might think there's food in there, so they might try and bash it around, break it, and then if they do open up the case for whatever it's in, they'll see it's just liquid, and they might be like putting their finger in it and then going, "What's that? What's that taste? Is that water?" Or they might think it's sugary. They might have had something sugary before. They might want a taste for it, and then they catch it, and then they start spreading it throughout all their population, and there could be an outbreak.
It's that, and then the other thing with that. There's a thing with them. Yes, I know we watched it in cinema together, if I remember correctly, in a past lifetime. That might be the reason we're called Monkey Nut Punch. They also, I've seen monkeys train up dogs. They steal dogs as puppies and train them up to help them hunt. That's the bit where I'm going, my God, Planet of the Apes, it's going to happen. We're in trouble, guys. We're in trouble.
They're going to surpass us.
Let's move on to our next story, Nige.
Yeah.
And yes, they do look like gremlins, and monkeys are highly intelligent. So, I got this right. So, Batwoman, the TV show that I haven't watched, and I only watch a YouTuber react to it, and I watched the YouTuber melt down at how bad it is. And I've seen a few clips of it here and there, and it is fucking terrible. It's not only terrible for acting, for special effects, for production, for storytelling, but it's also bad for health and safety. Ruby Rose almost broke her back and had to have surgery in 2019 before Comic-Con. So she couldn't go to Comic-Con because of that. And then they had another injury which almost killed an assistant. So the assistant's going about, and somehow she almost something happened, and she broke her back. She's fucking terrifying.
It doesn't sound like they had the right person advising on the stunts and whatnot.
Well, I think it's because they were probably going for, how can I put it, filling demographics rather than hiring talented people. So you got, that was the expression: A-rate talent hires A-rate talent, B-rate talent hires C-rate talent. But Ruby Rose said, I'm off. And everyone, good, bye. And then it came out later that it looks like she was fired. Apparently she didn't want to put the bat suit on. Apparently she didn't like working long hours. Apparently she didn't like reading scripts. Apparently she didn't like acting. Apparently she didn't like any of doing hard work. So
part of an actor's job, isn't it, to sit there and read a script?
Well,
and sometimes I've heard being an actor, it can go very long hours.
Yeah, but the difference. Right, hang on a second. This is the thing you need to know about being an actor. Yeah, and I learned this from Stargate. Yeah, most of the time is downtime between shooting. Yeah, so you're not acting. You're sitting on your ass waiting for shit to happen.
Yeah.
So you get the call. You come out. You do like 10 minutes worth of work. They go, reset cameras, and you go, come back in 45 minutes, and you go, okay. So you go off for half hour, you get 15 minutes back, you go to the makeup lady, can touch me up a little, do a bit of touching up, you come back, do the same scene again, and then I go, cut, I like it, print it, and then move on. And then you do that throughout the entire day. So a lot of it's waiting, and admittedly, they do get up early, and they do go home late. And depending on what they're shooting and what time, for lighting reasons, that's how early or how late they stay up. But it is part of the thingy, and you do get to sit down in between takes. And there's a lot of other people on set sorting shit out who don't. And one of the people is like, you got the director and producer who are usually arguing over money and what they can get, what the director can squeeze out the producer budget wise. So she whinged about that, but she's getting replaced as a whole new character. So the Kate Kane character from the comic books, who was Batwoman, is no more, and they're replacing him with someone I cannot remember the name. I have to scroll down the article. Getting replaced with a character called Ryan Wilder, who's lesbian.
That's the character name.
Because that's what counts. Yeah, the character's a lesbian, but doesn't have them interesting. Yeah, and she's been described as likable. Well, that's for us to judge. Messy. Again, that's for us to judge. A little goofy, untamed. She's nothing like Kate Kane, meaning they're going to hopefully hire someone who can act. The woman who was Batsuit before. And they've just gone for that. They can have a straight actor play a lesbian and it'll be fine. We want something interesting, you know? We want someone interesting. That's always the thing.
It's not, so I know Ruby Rose played Batwoman, right?
Yes.
Or did she not play? So if they're not replacing, if they're not having a brand new character called Ryan Wilder, who's playing Batwoman? Or is nobody?
Ryan Wilder, Kate Kane, they're probably going to kill Kate Kane off. I'm thinking she dies at Ace Chemicals for some reason, which ruins a load of stories. It only leaves, I think it is the Luke Fox character as the custodian of the Batman stuff to carry on over from the other casts. But she, because it's more important to hire a lesbian than it is to write a decent character. Because hey, gay people don't like having interesting characters. Speak to Ian McKellen, who like playing Gandalf. He didn't give a shit whether it was straight or thing. He just wanted to play a decent character. Same here.
Ryan Wilder is about to become Batwoman. That's what. So Kate fucks off, and Ryan Wilder sort of takes over the mantle as Batwoman. I suppose it's more of a Batwoman and Batman. They're more of symbols, aren't they, rather than the person inside? I suppose.
True.
Okay. So I suppose somebody would take on the mantle of Batwoman. Okay.
Dave, who's supposed to be online with us, said, I only watched one episode of Batwoman, and it doesn't look as good as Gotham. Dave, we're going to get you help, all right? Going to send a psychiatrist around to your house. He's going to assess you. We're going to take away all the sharp objects, laces, belts, etc., just so that you're okay after watching that one episode of Batwoman. What I found funny about Batwoman is they went, Batwoman, she's the first lead lesbian in the Arrowverse, which isn't true because if you've watched Legends of Tomorrow, the captain, I can't remember her name. Her sister was Katie Cassidy. White Canary's character. The White Canary character, I can't remember her name.
White Canary. I remember
White Canary. She was a lesbian, and she led that. And she led like an ensemble cast too. So she doesn't count, apparently. It's because they wanted to... It's shit marketing. Anyway, let's move on. Talking of shit marketing, Sony have cancelled... This is what we were planning on talking about. Cancelled the PS5 event due to all the rioting and stuff going on. Now, I was a bit pissed off about this, and I think me and you talked about this on Wednesday when we were live streaming. That we kind of need interesting shit to keep us distracted from all the crap that's going on. We've got all these riots turning on. It's ironic. One person dies. Oh my god, that's so unjust that one person dies. Yeah, so we go and riot. We destroy everything, and we kill 13 other people. But that doesn't make any sense in my head. I know there were peaceful protesters. Nige defended the peaceful protesters, and I'm with Nige with those people who protested peacefully. Well done, but those who didn't, you are scumbags.
As far as a white bloke, I can't understand.
Ginger, mate. You're not even in the white race. You're ginger. All right.
I'm oppressed as well, even by my friends.
You are oppressed. You're the most oppressed
by everybody. It doesn't matter what race or creed or fucking gender you are. I am oppressed because I've got a bit of ginger in me. But well, I don't get any fucking protection. Anyway, I understand it's been going on for fucking years, all this animosity, it's been building and building, especially with I think what's gone on in the White House and what he's been sort of insinuating, and but this has been a bit of a catalyst, and I completely understand that if you want to go and protest peacefully, that's fine. You can have your voice heard by protesting peacefully. But as soon as you start smashing shit up, what you've done is you've taken away your message. You've ruined it. And I don't know if it's the people protesting peacefully have sort of had a splinter group go off and start smashing buildings up and everything up, or there's people who are generally racist infiltrating and then smashing it up.
They're not racists, they're communists.
Oh yeah, well either way, but yeah,
Commies,
there could be people who just don't agree with these protests going in, sneaking in with them, and then trying to start something to start a bit of a riot or whatever. You don't know because we're not there and we're not, we're only seeing whatever the fucking media want us to see. But the long and short of it is, it's meant that Sony has postponed their discussion because they say there's a bigger discussion that needs to be had at the moment. Although, yeah, I agree with them. It would have been nice to have something nice to talk about, because at the moment, for the last 2 months, it's been COVID, and the last week, 2 weeks, it's been right, and we need some good news in our lives.
Yeah, we want good news. We want entertainment. We want fun things, and I do find it a bit on the.
As far as I'm concerned, you can have that discussion over equal rights for everyone and equal treatment for everyone. I wholeheartedly agree with that, and it should be across the board. I think it doesn't matter, rich, poor, whatever color your skin is, whatever creed you are, whatever. Everyone should be treated equally, regardless. And that is paramount in this day and age. It really is. I think Keith is also, even though he's a white bloke, he lives in Thailand. He gets it. He gets not oppressed, but he gets racist remarks to him from Asians, and it works both ways. You see, it's not.
According to these people, only white people can be racist.
Well,
that's the bit that fucks me off. That's the bit. Jason Momoa posted something like what I just said on his Instagram, and I looked at it and went, "You are a fucking idiot." Bye.
I just think I don't understand why people treat. I don't understand
I don't get racism because I'm fucking lazy.
Having
to treat a whole group of people differently involves effort. I can't be bothered with that.
I'll just treat everyone the same. I'll treat everyone with contempt.
Exactly. That's it. Treat everyone with contempt. I don't like anyone. But the long short is they cancelled it. There's no sign of it coming back anytime soon, and it's weird because there's a rumor that they might be changing up the processor and the graphics processor in it, so it's a little bit more powerful, and they might be using. There's a Navi chipset for ATI, is it that part of AMD?
I think
Navi chipset or something that's coming out soon, and there might be, and which is more powerful than what's in the Xbox One and in the PlayStation 5. And they might be going, well, let's just use the Navi. Let's use that processor.
This event from Sony, I don't think it was going to be anything regarding the reveal of the console. I think it was going to be a gameplay reveal of games that have been released, much like what the Xbox X Series, I don't know how the fuck to say it. The new Xbox. I think it was going to be similar in that regards, except maybe showing actual gameplay. But you don't know because they didn't release a statement as to, or what do they call it? An index of what they were going to discuss or show. So everyone's speculating. We're speculating. So it'd be nice to actually see the unit, and it would be nice to see. Potentially what it's going to cost, but I think they're going to wait, just like Microsoft is going to wait until the last minute, so they can sort of maybe be competing. Yeah, we only speculate at the moment. It's a bit of a shame, really.
It is a bit of a shame. But
Can we move to something equally ridiculous?
equally ridiculous. I was going to sit there and say, you're a man with tiny hands, like President Trump.
Not that tiny.
The tiny hands, they're tiny, mate.
Just
that's
slightly
the size
tinier
of my hand, and that's the size of your hand. Big, small, tiny hands. Visual gags for a podcast. Sega announces Game Gear Micro, the strangest retro mini game device ever. Courtesy of Polygon, who I think are cancer. It comes in 4 colors with 4 games on each handheld. So I'm assuming this one looks like the one I had. Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I don't know if this is the first Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic the Hedgehog Chaos, which was what I had on the Game Gear, which was pretty good. Then there's Puyo Puyo 2, Outrun, and Royal Stone. So there were lots of really cool games. Oh, hang on. No, I've got this wrong. 4 games for this one. So the grey one gets that one. Then he gets Sonic and Tails, Gunstar Heroes.
I think all of them get all different 4 colors, get all the games. You just get them in a variety of colors.
Okay. Well, okay. I thought it looks like it's different games. Anyway, it's got Sonic and Tails, Gunstar Heroes. Gunstar Heroes is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvanian Tales, Baku Baku Animal, Shining Force Gaiden 2, Shining Force Gaiden Final Conflict, Nazio Apoyo Arola Rao. A roux, I'm sure that's like a sauce that you're supposed to make for dinner. A roux. I'm sure I've made roux. The thingy. Hello, Commander Baptista, while you're at it. And then we got Megami Tenshin Gaiden Last Bible, Mikiteni Genshin Last Bible Special, and GG Shinobi. I know that one. Columns was great. And then for people with cataracts and normal eyes, there's a magnifier.
Yeah, which probably will be sold in addition to the unit.
Yeah. I don't know. They could have made. What they could have done is they could have created. Have you ever heard of the Sega Nomad? Now, the Sega Nomad was a handheld console that you could put Mega Drive games in.
Oh,
fucking awesome idea.
Oh, okay. I was never really a Sega person when it was out. To be honest, like I say, my first wasn't even a console. I had an Amiga 600, and then I went to a PS1, and the only Nintendo I had that's early-ish was the Game Boy. So,
what was it? This is a Sega Nomad.
Oh, cool.
This bad boy could play Mega Drive games on a handheld, which at the time was fucking awesome. I wanted one, but my parents were like, no, pay for it yourself. You've got a job. I wasn't that. No, I was still at school at the time. But I thought this was the shit.
Well, this new thing coming out, it doesn't seem to be too expensive. I think it's 40, maybe 50 quid or dollars. I'm not sure. But it's really, I think, aimed towards kids because of the size of it. It's so tiny. You just can't fucking hold it. I've seen a picture of someone holding it in their hands, and it's not even as wide as someone's hand. Like, it's tiny, and so the screen itself, like you see, is tiny. So it's difficult to see anything. That's why they sell you this magnifying thing.
Do you know, I'm not advocating for this, but if you go on Amazon, you can find handheld devices which are quite good that have like a couple of thousand games on it. I'm not saying they're legal.
No.
I'm not saying it's moral to buy them, but it may be worth just having a look at them.
No. Exactly.
Or you can get like a little Raspberry Pi Zero, sorry. Put RetroPie on it and get like a gaming case with buttons, and you can assemble it yourself. And that's just quite good as a project on its own. You get the satisfaction of playing around on it. Right, so hello, Commander Bapster. I think I've already said that. And Nigel's replied. So, yeah, we've got Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog have made the news once again. Why? They're accused of stealing a piece of music for their advert. It's weird because the music that they stole is because music comes with 2 copyrights on it. There is the arrangement copyright on it, which is like the sheet music and how it's all put together. And then there's the performance copyright on it. So you can do a cover of something. You can't have the copyright to the arrangement, but you can have the copyright to your thingy with permission of the people who have the copyright to the arrangement. Really awkward, really complicated. But the long and the short of it is someone had covered, I can't remember what the song's name is now, it's gone out of my head. True Faith by New Order. And someone had covered this, and they had used that version that they did their performance.
So I think
to put onto the video game.
So the person who made a cover of New Order, she changed lyrics. She did different ways of doing the lyrics, and she changed lyrics himself. Like
it's a performance. The performance changed. The arrangements stayed roughly the same, but the performance changed.
Exactly. And then Naughty Dog or the marketing team for Naughty Dog, whoever's they've employed to do it, has used her version of it. And although Naughty Dog got permission from New Order to use their song, they used her version of it, which they didn't have permission from.
Yeah.
So
okay. So as I said before, it comes in two. It's the arrangement and the performance, and they didn't ask for the performance, but the others have the right to use the arrangement. So it gets into a weird grey area. So I can't say I know entirely the details, but I have an understanding of roughly how it works.
I mean, see where this goes. I think,
but it is not. This game is a fucking disaster, and it really is the worst time for Sony to have this as a disaster. And I would part ways with Naughty Dog after this game. That's how bad a disaster this could be perceived as. I'd turn around and go, nah, you're fine. You carry on, do your own thing, because we don't want you. You scum.
Yeah.
But it's weird. I'm waiting for this, because when the game gets released, I guarantee that it's gonna be as buggy as fuck. Yeah, because games that have terrible productions usually are buggy as fuck. Look at Duke Nukem Forever, Daikatana.
Did Fallout 76 have issues?
No, because that was complete opposite. They didn't take long enough on it. I showed my wife a video of all the internet historians' coverage of Fallout 76 and why it was so fucking terrible. And my wife was like, "How could they get away with some of these things?" And it was just like, kind of, they did. And that's one of the reasons I almost smashed my disc to pieces.
The issue with that one is they built up all this trust with other games like Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, etc., etc. And the games predominantly, when they got released, were good. Bit of patch needed, at the start sometimes, but usually they would just work. Then they went and ruined their entire reputation with Fallout 76 by releasing something that just was not fit for purpose, and it made you think, what's the next game going to be like then when they release that, which I think is going to be another Elder Scrolls type game. I don't know if many people are going to go out and buy it until they've seen it working and all that stuff.
Yeah,
man.
Right, hang on a second. Because someone here wants to disagree with us. We always like people disagreeing with us, because we disagree with us all the other time. Your boy Dig, the majority of the last T. Louis II have been proven false by several early reviews, you sheep.
Not really
Where are these early reviews?
We're just reporting what has been said by the news. So we've already said that we will wait and see and have a look and see if actually it does happen, and if whether or not it's true before we make a purchase decision. So we make our own minds up as and when the game is released, not before.
Yes, you're right. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't the game that we were waiting for. which should have been released 10 years earlier. Yeah, I think we had the Uncharted 1 to 3 in the period that we waited for Duke Nukem, and all of Call of Duty in between waiting for Duke Nukem. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. The loading times were terrible. I'd have to go and make a cup of tea or go to the toilet for waiting for the loads and that. But yeah, it was how can I put it? It wasn't that bad. There were some bits in it, like the puzzles where you're driving around a little car to go around that, and where you got shrunk down. They were quite good. I like those, but it wasn't the game that we were promised. That's the bit that annoys me. Right, so let's move on to our next story.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember that?
I remember the one review to the end boss, which was too hard, so they marked it down. Patched off. I'm trying to remember what the last boss on it bloody was. What was the last boss on it?
I've not really played it, so
I played it. I got it on PlayStation 3. I think I paid up for like 20 quid, which was a bargain. I was talking about the PC version. All right, okay. I still can't remember the bloody boss. I can't remember anything. I can only remember doing a few puzzles and bits on it. But yes, we'll have to have a bigger chat about that one time. So next one. Crazy people. Something weird's going on with Lego. A lot of crazy's going on in the world at the moment, and Lego asks their retailers to put a pause on police sets in the middle of the protest.
Marketing.
Marketing. It's weird because
they've already sold them and they're already in the stores.
I've seen a letter that says take them off shelves. That was sent to one company. Yeah, and then Lego went, no, we meant marketing. Well, this one says letters on shelf because it was weird because they denied it, and then the people who posted it then reposted the email that they had. And then this is what we got here. We've got, what was it? They pledged $4 million to combat racism.
It's a worthy cause.
Why don't you spend $4 million helping rebuild all those shops that were destroyed? Maybe the retailers that were selling your stuff. That could be like enlightened self-interest, but
treat things equally, couldn't they? They could give millions towards combating racism and $4 million to the people whose stores have been fucking wrecked.
Yeah, this is what I don't. It's just I when it comes to the whole thing at the moment, it's not it's not racism. It's something else, but it's a longer conversation. The long and the short is they took down the police set and stuff like that. The one that got everyone, donut shop.
They took the donut shop down.
The donut shop. That's the one. That's the one. The donut shop.
Mate, is that the one from The Simpsons?
No, it's not the one from The Simpsons. It's just the Lego City range. It looks like the one from The Simpsons. I don't know what the fuck's going on with these people. I think
ambulance people.
I think what it is you've got the marketing department and then you've got the supplies department, yeah? And the marketing department probably went, they're having Blackout Tuesday, which sounds iffy as it is. They're having Blackout Tuesday, and it's what do you call it? It's it'd be inappropriate to advertise these things on that date. So they told the supplying department that. So the supplying department went, so? And then it went, oh, okay, you want us to take them off for sale? Here's an email, take it off sale, yeah? And then the marketing department's gone, what have you sent out? We didn't mean that. We just meant no. So I can imagine it's the right hand not telling what the left hand's doing, but it's still a fucking stupid thing. The donut shop, the sodding donut shop. Come on, everyone
police. They should have just said, don't market anything on that day, and then carry on next day, whatever, you know. So, Mr. Babster.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are they tarnishing all police for the same? I don't know. They just do. It's a shame, really, because not all police are the same. It's the same. People are different. Not one police officer is the same as another police officer. Some are dicks, and it's a small minority that are dicks, and the rest are usually pretty decent human beings. It's the same all the way around, you know. In everything, you get a small minority that ruin it for the rest of you.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that just tarnishes. It's like there's probably a small minority of people doing these riots, but then everything then gets tarnished because of that.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
what happened to the COVID crisis and everyone being locked in?
yeah, I know. A second wave coming. Well, mate, there can't be a second wave if you're still in the first wave.
Yeah.
So, I don't see this wave going away with all these people gathering in tight spaces. I know they're in the open air, and some people have got masks on, and they're I suppose the clever people. But I can see us being in lockdown a hell of a lot longer now because of these protests going on.
No, what they've done is they've done us a favour because we can use this to see whether it's as infectious as we think. Because is it 2 weeks they say? So if in 2 weeks' time they all come down ill, then lockdown was warranted. If they don't go down ill, then we can lift lockdown. So either way, it's good news, I think. Then they've sacrificed themselves for the good of everyone without realising it. All right. This is got a nice a story that will bring a tear to your eye. You're gonna hate me for this. All right. What? So this is our what the fuck story. So man sticks phone charger up penis, but tells doctor he swallowed it. 30-year-old did not tell doctors in wherever it is, India, the truth about where the wire had come from how the wire had come to find itself in the bladder, prompting a fruitless search for the phone charger. There's the X-ray of it inside the guy's bladder.
How do you even?
But we've just got to finish the story off before you start exclaiming, because we're going to make you double wince. The patient managed to ram a 2-foot mobile charging cable up his penis for sexual gratification. Tried to fool the doctor by claiming that he had swallowed it. The 30-year-old had arrived at the doctor's in wherever it is, India, with an unusual ailment. He told the medics that he had ingested the wire, prompting them a fruitless search where they were looking for the plug it was attached to. No, I imagine it's probably the end of the cable. It was only when the X-ray on the operating table was taken, it became clear that the 30-year-old that the cable was clearly in the 30-year-old's urinary tract.
I can't even understand how you could even start to get that in there.
I'm struggling reading it because my brain's trying to comprehend what the fuck has gone on there.
And then why would you lie to the doctor? You've gone to the doctor to get it sorted because you're obviously now in pain. I don't.
Right. Okay. Do you know what really gets me about this? Yeah. It's not even an official cable.
No, if you're going to do it, you do it right, yeah?
You are going to do it right. Anyway, that was the one story to bring a tear to your eye. Now I've got a video which will make you... hang on a second. I'm just gonna move this so I can go full screen with this bad boy, because this will... All right, can you see the screen very well? Okay, all right, pay attention. All right, I had to watch this twice because I didn't know what I saw. And then the second time I was like, ooh. Okay, here we go.
Oh. That was straight for the seat.
Okay, nice. For those listening to the podcast, can you describe what just happened?
Man playing a trumpet.
I'm swirling a thing. I don't think it's a trumpet.
He's sitting on a stool that that can rotate, a single swivel stool. And as he turns, the seat suddenly drops about a half foot. And he has this pained look on his face. And he reaches down, puts his hand on the stool, and gets to stand up. And it looks like it went right up the pooper. As he and then he starts walking off a little bit. Oh my word. Jesus. At least he was sat perfectly.
It's
definitely not at band camp.
So it's like, look, ouch from Malcolm, and then literally a second later, ouch from David.
Mate. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Definitely not a band camp story.
You can tell he's not homosexual because he.
Even if you were, that would still be unpleasant.
I reckon it would. It's a bit sharp, that, isn't it? It's not rounded off the top.
The question is, I'm trying to work out if it's a gag, because if it is a gag, he's doing it in front of children.
Yeah.
If it's not, then fuck, he was lucky, because that could have done his spine in or pierced his scrotum.
Well, the way he was walking.
Yeah.
He's done something.
Yeah, it was. That looked very, very painful.
And on that bombshell.
On that painful bombshell.
Bombshell.
Oh, the bombshell.
We'll see you in the next video / podcast / live show.
Yes, and hopefully we'll have Keith. So
hopefully
we'll be back on Wednesday for a live stream on Twitch and YouTube and Mixer. So if you want to join us on that, I think it's at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, about that.
Is it your turn?
It is
10 o'clock on a Wednesday.
I've still got to get it working.
Oh, hello, Jason. Bye, Jason.
Hi, Jace. He's back. Another break.
And then we've got fast food films on Saturday with Keith, and then we're back on Sunday. So come join us. If what do you call it? If you've been on the live stream, can you give us a thumbs up, or a like on Facebook or YouTube? And thank you for watching. And hopefully we'll get Dave on one day.
If he ever changes his internet provider.
Yes.
And don't forget to give our Facebook a follow or Twitter a follow, and subscribe to the YouTube so you get a notification if you hit that bell.
Yeah.
When we go live.
Okay.
See you in the next one.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.